Russia's attack on Ukraine is now going into its second week, and so far, 1.2 million people have fled to find safety. We're learning Russia is poised to deploy up to 1,000 troops to Ukraine in the coming days. Intelligence officials warn Moscow could bombard Ukrainian cities into submission. This after Russian troops occupied the country's largest power plant. There was fear the plant was on the brink of explosion after shots from Russian troops started a massive fire. Well, that fire is out, and officials say there is no radiation leak. But a man with ties to the Portland area who lives near the nuclear plant says he still does not feel safe.
It's all tough. We are ready to fight. But down here, we're all human. We don't want to die early.
Katu's Francis Lynn joins us live tonight after speaking with him. So what did he tell you, Francis?
He told me his family lives here in the U.S., but he's not leaving. He said he could easily come to the United States, but Ukraine is his home, and he's not leaving anytime soon.
Alexander Kopitko, a father of three.
I'm in Zaporizhzhia. It's about 25 miles from that nuclear plant.
The biggest nuclear plant in Europe.
That plant was designed to withstand missile attack, but if someone will blow it within, if this happens, forget about Europe for the next 50 years.
Living so close to the plant, he's prepared if anything goes south.
I had already prepared on my WhatsApp application the text I created a group for my kids. So in case I hear the bump, I'll just press and it will send the text to my kids. I love you and everything. We want our kids to see grow and get grandkids. And I mean, it's okay, you know.
But the question is, would Putin dare to use nuclear weapons in any way? Many, including a local sociology professor, says it's a definite possibility.
There's a level of callous disregard for how the human rights of this population are being violated already. There's been quite a lot of military violence going on, and thousands of people, many of them Russian soldiers actually, have already died. It does seem as if what might lead to an escalation that people very much fear.
Of course, we don't know what Putin would do.
Will there be nuclear plant sacrifice? We don't know. But is it possible? Yes.
However, Kopitko says he did do one thing.
Ukraine was divided. But what Putin did right now, he united.
We have to get aid in there now.
Dale Perry of Bainbridge Island, Seattle, is working feverishly to get much-needed supplies into Ukraine.
Truckloads of hospital supply needs, because you can imagine the need for that.
He's in Poland right now, along with some of his staff.
So I'm in Poland, moving back and forth, and my partner is over in Ukraine. For the last 5 nights now, we've been delivering needed aid across a border from Poland into Ukraine.
Perry is co-owner of ERU Management Services. It's a privately held U.S. energy company in Ukraine. With hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians out of their homes because of the Russian invasion, Perry's company pivoted to provide humanitarian aid.
We've purchased tents, sleeping bags, and we bought 2,000 air mattresses so that 2,600 people are no longer sleeping on cold floors of the tents and in the bomb shelters in Ukraine.
Perry says he and his team are doing what the International Red Cross and other global aid NGOs can't do right now.
The International Red Cross, they can't be seen as taking sides. The smaller NGOs, they're slow. So, in fact, I was told exactly this, that I'm doing what it actually turns out it happens a lot. It's the entrepreneurs that show up.
Perry is urging others to step up.
All the NGOs around the table. And it's sad to say that we've delivered more into Ukraine than all of the others total. And it's wrong. And where's the money? I'm committing my money. There's a lot of people in the Seattle area that could step up, and please do.
Perry says on average, he's sleeping about an hour and a half a night because there is just so much to do. He says he's committed to delivering up to $2 million worth of aid wherever he and his staff can find it. He says they really need help over there, and he says he hopes others will step up.
Scott says that you'll start to see more speed cameras like you see here on 122nd. They said that that a designated city employee will be processing these speeding tickets as opposed to Portland police. Now, this will be effective at a time when PPB traffic enforcement is non-existent. In a flash, these cameras clock your speed, and Dylan Rivera with PBOT says they're highly effective.
Where we install these cameras, we see a dramatic drop in dangerous driving within a matter of weeks.
Take, for example, the one near 148th and Southeast Division. Before the cameras, PBOT found 66% of drivers went over the speed limit. 4 years after the cameras were installed, that number dropped by more than 40%. Similar numbers were found at the other locations: Beaverton, Hillsdale, Marine Drive, 122nd and Southeast Division. Earlier today, Oregon lawmakers passed House Bill 4105, allowing city employees to review the photos and issue citations. In the past, only sworn police officers could do the job, slowing the process since there weren't enough of them to do it.
With this bill, we'll be able to avoid the burden of putting this paperwork on our police officers. We'll be able to avoid the financial cost of paying police officer overtime for really an administrative paperwork task.
At a time when Portland police eliminated its traffic enforcement, city officials say this bill is promising.
We're hoping this will help us deploy these cameras to more of these high crash corridors.
Of course, the governor still has to sign off on that bill. PBOT says they already have plans to install 3 more cameras around the city this year. They'll be at 205 and Southeast Stark, also on Northeast Columbia near 33rd and Northeast Sandy at 75th.